Welcome to episode 3 of Nintendo Love Affair. This week is Fight Week here at NLA, and thank you for joining me. On today's episode, we discuss the final Smash Bros. Direct, Pokken Tournament, plus I offer a retrospective 1-2-3 combo of the greatest franchises to hit the fighting genre. Round 1, ready, fight! Before we dive into the news, I've got some fighting words of my own to share. Mr. Kimishima, I challenge you in a brand new segment titled Nintendo Editorial, If I Were President. The most infuriating quote I've read multiple times is that Mario on mobile is not a formula for printing money. This remark, made by many upper-level people at Nintendo, illustrates an incredible misunderstanding of the mobile market and of the power of their own property. A single Google search for best platformers on iPhone brought me to Cali's Caves 3 and Rayman Fiesta Run. Both of these are important examples for various reasons. Let's look at Cali's Caves 3 first. CC3 is a mobile platformer that is inspired by the likes of Mega Man and Mario, and no doubt Metroid and Castlevania. Cali must travel through multiple levels, killing enemies, leveling up weapons, and fighting end bosses. The player spends time exploring the nooks and crannies of levels to discover new weapons and abilities, as well as piece together Lloyd's musical album. Levels and bosses increase with difficulty as you move through the game. There are even alternate levels that you play as Bara, the bear, which offers a different way to play and expands the game, although a little shallowly. CC3 uses on-screen controls in a simply and elegant way to move Cali around. She has 2 directional buttons for left and right, and 3 action buttons for shoot, slash, and jump. Admitting that my experience is with the iPhone 6 Plus, which has plenty of real estate to comfortably push the buttons, I cannot fairly assess how much fun it is to play on a regular 6 or 6S. Considering the precision and platforming controls CC3 exhibits, its interesting storyline, and overall fun factor, I can't help but wonder what the wizards at Nintendo would be able to accomplish. Rayman Fiesta is a prime example of an existing platforming franchise that has been moved to mobile as an endless runner. It's free, it's shallow, but it's fun and demands precise and timely jumps. On-screen controls do not limit the fun factor for this game. Also, it's a nice gateway game for players to transform from mobile to home console. If they play Rayman on their phone, are enchanted by Rayman's design and music, they may just want to get the game for Wii U. Now imagine if Nintendo were to put bite-sized portions of their classic titles on the mobile platform. Just a taste of the greatness they create. What better way to introduce the extended audience to core franchises, hook them, and bring them home on the Wii U or 3DS, or NX. Both these games are prime examples of how Nintendo is missing the mark, and an opportunity for greatness. The original Super Mario Bros. Control scheme is no more complex than Cali's or Rayman's, and there's absolutely no reason why Mario can't just be plopped on mobile. The original Mario Bros. On my iPhone for a comparable price to that of virtual consoles, I'm in. Part of me hopes that Nintendo already knows all of this. Part of me wants to believe that they are indeed developing an incredible lineup of mobile experiences as well as porting over compatible classics. I want to believe that they aren't as ignorant of what the market wants or needs as they are coming off. But the question remains, what are they waiting for? If I were president of Nintendo, I would immediately acknowledge the potential of the mobile platform for playing great games and bringing in a solid revenue stream. I would accept the efficacy of porting classic games to the mobile platform, and I would stop beating around the bush to do it. Kimishima referred to the mobile market as a red ocean. But Nintendo brought high expectations to the world of video games, saving the industry in the 80s from the saturated Atari age market. The Big N can do this once again by taming the mobile market. Reggie Fils-Aimé, I'm also calling you out. Because when you first stepped onto the stage, you said your name was Reggie and you're here to kick butt. Well, it's time for you to step up and kick some butt. Tame the mobile market, Nintendo. You are our only hope. Whew. Things got a little intense there. I hope you enjoyed the first ever editorial segment. Do you have an opinion about Nintendo? Maybe you would like to have your opinion heard by the masses. Well, if you do, then you're in luck. Email your thoughts, questions, or criticisms to nintendoloveaffair@gmail.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at ninloveaffair. That's N-I-N, Love Affair. Okay, moving on to our next segment. New Nintendo news you need to know. Let's get this last week's news off to a great start with the Smash Bros. Direct. On Tuesday, Masahiro Sakurai hosted what has been referred to as the final Smash Bros. Direct. This announcement was pretty exciting, but a little underwhelming in comparison to the internet-breaking news that Cloud from Final Fantasy VII would also be coming to Smash Bros. Masahiro announced that Corrin from next year's Fire Emblem Fates and Bayonetta would be the final character additions to the game. Let me tell you, Nintendo lovers, I am getting a little sick and tired of people criticizing the Big N's decisions. Who cares in what order the character announcements were made? Regardless of who was announced first, we will all be able to play Bayonetta, Cloud, and Corrin. It's sad that the conversations about these announcements has been dominated by criticizing Nintendo's marketing plan. All of these characters will be available. Let's celebrate that fact. And that's exactly what we're going to do here at Nintendo Love Affair. We will celebrate what Nintendo does, because no matter what the haters want to say, Nintendo is an awesome company who does awesome things worth celebrating. Yes, I just spent 5 minutes complaining, I guess, about Nintendo's approach to mobile. I think there should be room in the conversation for critique. But negativity should not dominate it. So, looking at Smash Bros., it is super impressive what Masahiro has accomplished. When all is said and done, Smash will have a roster that is 58 characters strong, has 84 stages, 99 Mii Fighter outfit pieces and 97 hats, 507 music tracks, and over 700 trophies for each system. As a player new to the Smash series, but a longtime fighting fan, I am very excited to dive in and discover what this game is all about. And what a time to jump in! Most haters and naysayers will go on about how the future release list of Wii U looks thin, but I look at the current state of things from the point of view of someone who is just now getting into the Wii U. There are so many great games out there, and there is still some greatness on the horizon as well. Other news from the Direct worth mentioning: new Mii Fighter costumes are on the horizon. The list includes Geno from Super Mario RPG, Chocobo Hat from Final Fantasy, Bionic Armor, which is an original costume, Takamaru, a samurai character from a game unreleased in the US, Ashley from WarioWare, Gil from Tower of Druaga, as well as Tails and Knuckles from Sonic the Hedgehog. Nintendo also confirmed that Bayonetta, Corrin, and Cloud are getting amiibo figures, but no release date was given. Roy, Famicom Rob, and Ryu amiibo release dates were confirmed for March 18th. Looks like in 2016 I will be getting myself a Shovel Knight amiibo. Sadly, maybe two. One for display and one to use. A Ryu amiibo and a Cloud amiibo. Cloud is a pretty cool character. Final Fantasy VII was the very first RPG I ever got into. I remember walking through the video game section at Meijer and seeing it in the case, brand new, for $15. I scooped that baby up and jumped right in. I told my buddy Brandon about it, and he immediately went to Meijer to buy it as well. I couldn't believe how lucky I was. I spent so many hours exploring that world, grinding through enemies to power up, and powered through a lot of guides and frequently asked questions. What an experience. A Pokken bundle was also announced. The Pokken Tournament Wii U bundle has been announced for Japan. This Tekken-style Pokemon fighter has received some pretty good reviews so far. I haven't played a Pokemon game since Red and Blue came out for Game Boy. I'm ready to duke it out with different Pokemon though. The fighting genre is my absolute favorite genre, sitting close beside platformers, and I think fighting with Pokemon could provide some pretty interesting gameplay. They are also packing the game with a controller made specifically for the arcade version. I think the controller looks pretty sweet, but I'm not sure how well it's going to work. It uses a D-pad, but Pokemon Tournament is a 3D fighter, and in my mind, that is better played with a joystick. We'll have to wait and see. Nintendo says 3DS is here to stay. Nintendo Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing, Scott Moffat, has stated that the 3DS and the mobile business can coexist. In the interview with Washington Post, Scott said that the 3DS has outsold the PS4 and Xbone combined, a whopping 50.4 million units total. Although many claim that the end of the 3DS era is near, Moffat speaks as if they are expecting the 3DS to stick around for a long time. My projection is that we can count on 2016 to be a great closing year for the 3DS, and as the NX is introduced to the market, we will see the spotlight transition over to that third pillar. People can say what they will about Nintendo's home console history, but they have without a doubt nailed it every generation in regards to handheld gaming. I just don't see how they could mess up mobile. And finally, Nintendo is bringing back its Black Friday deals for Wii U. Nintendo will sell the Splatoon Super Smash Bros. Wii U bundle for $249.99 in time for last-minute holiday shopping. The bundle is available at Target and GameStop, along with bundles containing Super Mario 3D World or Mario Kart 8. Nintendo also has some other deals at other retailers, like $25 off a new 3DS at Best Buy, or 2 Amiibo for $22 at Toys R Us. You can see the complete list of deals at Nintendo's website. That's our news for the week. Let's take a little break. And in honor of Fight Week here at Nintendo Love Affair, please enjoy the theme song from Super Street Fighter II Turbo HD Remix. Welcome back. And speaking of back, let's travel back in time and take a look at yesteryear. We're going to close out this week's episode with our Nintendo Retrospective. This week, we look at the fighting genre, and we're going to read the back of 3 very special games: Street Fighter II, Killer Instinct, and Mortal Kombat. 3 of the biggest names in the fighting genre. Up first, Street Fighter II for Super Nintendo. Street Fighter II, get ready to rumble. From across the globe comes 8 of the wildest fighters the world has ever known. Choose your champion, gather your courage, and prepare to battle your opponents in a bare-knuckle brawl. Face Ken and his devastating Dragon Punch. Watch the temperature rise as Dhalsim incinerates you with his mystical Yoga Flame. Hear your spine crack as Zangief smashes you to the pavement with his spinning power driver. Cover your ears as Guile breaks the sound barrier with the awesome power of the sonic boom. Annihilate your competition and claim the right to test your skills against the bone-crushing power of the Grand Masters. Can you survive? Can anyone? Killer Instinct for Super Nintendo. The king of the killer arcades comes to Super NES. Don't wait in endless arcade lines to play. Killer Instinct comes to Super NES with action, graphics, and sound that annihilates all other combat games. Fulgore, Jago, B Orchid, Spinal, and all your favorite warriors contend in the Ultra Tech KI tournament. Each combatant engages in the KI combo theory of connected moves and finishing tactics to destroy their opponents. With incredible displays of eye lasers, ice lances, wind kicks, and laser blades, these fearless fighters prove their battle prowess. But remember, if you lose, it's 0-0. The Killer Arcade Classic comes to the Super NES with astounding graphics and incredible sound. The complete cast of famous fighters with all their special combos and finishing moves. Contains a colossal 32 megabits of incredible fighting action. And Killer Cuts music CD included inside. This incredible CD is packed with the Killer Instinct soundtrack and remixed tracks for an added level of entertainment. And finally this week, the original Mortal Kombat on Super Nintendo. Prepare yourself. The #1 arcade hit is here. From Sub-Zero, Raiden, and your favorite combat warriors to the grueling endurance and intense mirror matches. Execute bone-shattering combos and ferocious finishing moves. Defeat the half-human dragon, Goro, and destroy the shape-changing Shang Tsung to become the supreme Mortal Kombat warrior. Alright, that does it for this week's episode of Nintendo Love Affair. Remember, you can join us here each Saturday morning for this week's news. Thank you for listening.